Hello and welcome to today's online programming. My name is Mary Ann Wright and I'm a 4-H area educator with Lincoln University Cooperative Extension. Let's begin with the 4-H pledge. I pledge my head to clearer thinking, my heart to greater loyalty, my hands to larger service, and my health to better living. For my club, my community, my country, and my world. Today we are going to be completing a fun and easy craft called No Dye Tie-Dye. So let's go ahead and get started. We'll explain what you need for this project. I am going to be using a pillowcase, but you can make anything you want. So if you want to make a t-shirt, you just need a plain white t-shirt for this project. After your fabric, the next thing you need is going to be some permanent markers. Now today I'm going to be using red and blue because I want to make my pillow patriotic. We are celebrating Memorial Day on Monday, and for a lot of people that's sort of the start of summer. And when I think of summer, I often think of red, white, and blue because not only do we have Memorial Day, but we also celebrate Flag Day in June and then Independence Day in July. So I'm going to theme mine with a red, white, and blue theme so I can decorate it with it. Then you're going to need a cup or container, and you're going to be using the lid of this, so you want to make sure that it's clean and empty. Next, you need some rubbing alcohol, and I'm going to be using a spray bottle. So this is just a spray bottle that I'm repurposing. I had run out of product in it, and so I cleaned it out and added some alcohol to this spray bottle. And then the only other thing you're going to need is just a regular rubber band. So what we're going to do for this project is make a tie-dye effect using permanent markers instead of dye. So this is really fun and easy. You want to make sure that you have a clean pillowcase or shirt, whatever fabric you're working with. And the first thing you're going to do is decide kind of what kind of pattern you want to put on your material. So I want mine to look like fireworks. So that is why I'm going to be using this cup as a base for my pattern. Now I'm going to be using my pillowcase, but only one side of it. So I have pulled apart my pillowcase so it's separated, and I'm going to place the cup inside my pillowcase. Then I'm going to decide where I want my first starburst pattern, my first firework to be. And when I decide on that, I'm just going to kind of wrap my fabric around this so it's really tight and taut right there. Then I'm going to take my rubber bands and place it right on the lip of that container. This is going to hold my fabric in place, and this is what I'm going to be using as my drawing surface. So I'm going to take my permanent markers now, and I'm going to draw a design. Now again, I want mine to resemble fireworks, so I'm going to have a pattern that radiates out from the center of my cup here. So I have blue that I have added, and then I'm going to add some red, but again, you can use any color you want. A lot of these designs look really neat with 3 colors, so you can decide exactly how you want your pattern to look, because when we add our alcohol to this, it's going to cause all of our permanent marker to bleed, and it's going to create this tie-dye effect. So we want to make sure we have enough ink, so I'm going over my marks multiple times just to make sure that fabric is very saturated with the color. Next, I am going to use the alcohol in my spray bottle, so I just added a little bit of rubbing alcohol to my spray bottle. So I'm going to take this, and holding my container, I'm just going to spray the top of my container. And I do want it to saturate, but I don't want it to be soaking wet. So I started out with just 5 squirts, 5 small squirts here. And you'll start to see that your ink will start to run a bit. And then you can adjust, and you can add a little bit more alcohol to start getting your desired effect for this. Now when I do this, I actually like to kind of just move my cup around a little bit after I spray it. I think it gives a neat effect, and it helps the pigment to really start to bleed. And so that's kind of what I'm doing here. Now be patient after you spray this a couple of times. You don't want to go overboard because it does keep expanding. So just go ahead and hold tight after you spray, and then watch your pattern form. And then after it dries, if you're not happy with your pattern and you want it to bleed a little bit more, you can go ahead and spray again. So once you do this, you can then wait till it dries. If you want to use a hair dryer to kind of speed up that process, you can. Alcohol will evaporate very quickly, so it really won't take that long for you to have a dry surface to start on the next. But after it's completely dry, all you have to do is take off your rubber band. Then you decide where you want your next pattern to go, and you just move that and then do the process all over. So I have played around a little bit, and I did a version before. So this is what mine turned out to look like. It has a bunch of different patriotic fireworks. And so I have folded over my pillowcase and kind of tucked it in so it fits a throw pillow size. But I think this is really fun, and it can add a little bit of color for my summer decor. Now I also wanted to show you a different kind of pattern. If you don't like the effect that you're getting from the circles that you're using with your cup, you can also choose to go ahead and draw out your patterns and then spray and saturate the whole surface. So I have done that on this side, and you see it's a little different effect. Had a little bit more bleed. It kind of goes together. There's no definite edge on my circles, even though I use the same kind of starburst patterns. It just bleeds in a little bit more. So if you like this effect, I did that just by pulling this taut over a baking pan, a 9x13 baking pan, and I kind of use that as my surface to draw on, and then add my alcohol with my spray bottle. So again, here is the other side that you can decorate with. So this is just a fun and easy thing. I did this for the first time several years ago, and I made a t-shirt. So I wanted to show you kind of what that looked like, because I've worn this shirt multiple times. I kind of did the effect of balloons, and I used different colors for that. And you can see the color really does hold up. It will fade a little over time, but for the most part, it really stays in there. So after you make your pillowcase or your t-shirt, I would suggest letting it dry fully and then doing a wash with just that by itself. Just in case some of that color bleeds, you don't want it to ruin any of your other clothes or other things in the wash. So I would do that before you place it, especially if you have a light colored couch, because you don't want any of that permanent marker rubbing off on your fabric. Okay, I hope you enjoyed today's craft, and this is going to be our last online programming video before summer starts, and we're transitioning now into our summer programming. So be sure to check out the Pemiscot County Facebook page so you can know what's going on, and also know about our events and programs that we're starting in just the next couple of weeks. Thank you so much for joining me for online programming these last 8 weeks. I have enjoyed it, and I hope to see you again soon. Bye-bye.